Commence primary ignition.
What's up, guys? I'm Emily Swallow. If you're looking at this, you're watching the Virtual Cantina Network. This is the way.
Hello there.
This is the way.
Love
She's
her.
so cool.
Yeah.
She's so cool. Mark, it's so weird to see your face like on the screen.
The man in the chair is not only in the chair, but he's on the screen.
I'm contractually obligated to be in the little box tonight.
Oh, wait, we had contracts? Y'all
Yeah.
have contracts?
Nobody told me.
We signed them for you, don't you worry.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So
Tonight's episode is about consent, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about contractual agreements and signing things. No, we're not going to do that.
Just kidding. How's it going,
no,
everybody?
Listen, it's going to be a fun show, a fun night. As you can see, things are a little different than they usually are. So we're gonna take a break from all the crap happening in the world, and just play games and have some fun, and do a little this or that game stuff.
Sorry, Mark.
Yeah, Mark is. Wow, this is also really weird because whenever we put a comment up, it looks like Mark is going to get Mike Wazowski.
yeah.
Like
Oh
his
my God,
face.
totally.
He's gonna be eyeballs. above
This
the
was
line.
a regular occurrence of Jeff all the time whenever he would join us on Rebels Revisited, because it was always me and Ashley on air, and then he produced basically every episode until our final few months when we added in Skip and I started producing, just because we didn't need 4 people making the show. And he would be in this like teeny tiny box every now and then jump behind scenes. But we had him in one that looked like it was like a hot tub.
That was really funny. Jeff in the hot tub.
So now, anytime we toss something on the screen, you're gonna be the Mike Wazowski getting covered by anything and everything, which is my favorite longest running joke in Pixar movies. I love it.
Yes, without a doubt.
I can't
That's
believe
great.
it.
I'm in a commercial.
I'm in a commercial.
It's just so good. Monsters Inc. is a god tier movie. So we're gonna jump into our game in just a couple minutes here. We'll talk about the rules. It's totally participatory, so the chat is open, obviously. So it's not just about me and Ashley playing, it's about you guys playing too. We'll get into that in just a second. I feel like we always start the show recapping some Star Wars news. And listen, the thing that has me in a chokehold, I know everybody's excited about Oscar Isaac. We're going to talk about that in a second. We need to talk about Gary Fisher.
Yes, we do. Oh,
because
sweet baby Gary.
I mean, listen, I'm always going to root for the dog in every circumstance, in every
For real.
way. But the fact that it was Gary, if you're not aware, Gary Fisher, that would be Carrie's beloved pupper, has crossed the Rainbow Bridge. And listen, I'm really sad about that one.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm excited because it means that Carrie got her dog back, and like, I firmly believe that's what's happening in the afterlife. But I'm like, I was not prepared to say goodbye to that sweet little doggy face.
A couple weeks shy of his 13th birthday. Since
Take
Carrie
life.
passed, he was given to her assistant Corby, and was traveling around the country with her. And last couple of years, he's been kind of, just enjoying the senior dog life and getting spoiled rotten. And it was just time, and it's so sad. But I
that one definitely got me.
My little photo with younger Gary. You can see him right there with his tongue out.
Just a little guy. I don't know. I always root for the dog, and the other big bit of news that's happened since our last show that kind of goes hand in hand with rooting for the dog is the last cover of the High Republic books has been revealed. Charles Soule posted it on his Blue Sky. I'm a little nervous, actually. So they've been 2 covers released in the last couple of weeks, but the very final cover, which comes out 2 days before my birthday, which I'm like, oh, really feeling a certain kind of way about in June.
Right.
They just released that cover, and I don't know. I'm real sweaty. I'm real nervous about who's gonna die, who's gonna make it.
Oh no.
I don't know.
Don't do this, Charles. Don't do this.
I mean, they're all in it for blood at this point. They just want to make us sad. But to go hand in hand with that, come next month, speaking of more news that we got in the last couple weeks, we get part 2 of season 2 of Young Jedi Adventures on Disney Plus. So
Woo.
you take the good and the bad, you know?
Yeah.
Someone's gonna die of fun.
It's
I
the
love
little,
Parks and Rec.
the little
I
things
love
like
Parks and
that.
Rec. Mark totally got that.
Mhm.
I did too.
Aubrey and Chris were the team.
Someone's gonna die
They-
of fun.
Yeah. My
He
husband and
balanced
I
her.
are a golden retriever black cat relationship,
Yeah.
so we are them. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Somebody used them as a meme to describe the entirety of the High Republic, and it was like
Yeah.
someone's gonna die, and it was all the adult books, and then of fun was just nubs. Like, yeah, okay, like okay, I guess that makes sense.
Balanced.
So,
Fine.
Nubs
Yeah, I
is a
think about that a
question,
lot.
and it's going to be a hard one for you.
oh no,
you
I'm
got
already nervous.
her.
Okay, all right. I feel like we should just jump into it then, because now I'm like anxious to figure
We
out
have
what the
that one
question's
more
gonna
piece
be.
of news. Oscar
Oh
Isaac
yeah, yes.
was
Sorry, go
announced
ahead.
for celebration today, which means Mark is going to be on a flight to Japan. Just kidding. Not solidified, but
The next this or that is going to be who's paying for this flight.
This or that.
in the
But this
chat.
goes hand in hand with our contracts that don't exist.
yeah, Spencer.
If only we got paid.
Yeah.
Then we can all go to Japan.
That'd be
I
funny.
mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, celebration is happening really soon, so obviously the names are starting to come in fast and furious now.
Yeah, and Mark,
Um,
just keep manifesting those names. Rosario first, and
Cute
now,
too.
yeah, now Oscar. You're just killing it. So
I
don't
had
know.
one related to that too. Look, my question list is probably very biased based on like recency effect, but I did try
Okay.
to like capture a wide
Okay.
range of topics, locations, people, creatures, activities. But I'm also like really hoping that people jump in the chat and tell us
oh
like
yeah,
what their answers are also, because I think some of them are relatively easy, but some are really tough. And I'm gonna start with a really hard one because you said
Ooh.
Nubs, and he was on the list. I would like you to choose, and it's a 3-way question. Would you you have
Okay.
to choose between Nubs or Grogu or Neil?
Nubs.
Is
That
it
was
Nubs?
easy. I thought that was gonna be way harder. It's Nubs.
It's Nubs.
Hands down, it's Nubs. Sorry, I'll go straight to jail.
That's okay.
Straight to jail. It's fine. I love Nubs.
Yeah.
My guy.
Sweet
Perfect.
little fur baby.
Ashley, you have to answer.
Oh,
Nubs, Neil, or Grogu?
I'm stuck between Nubs and Grogu. Like Nubs is hella cute, but like
Stinky. Jeff, get out of my chat. Thank you, Jeff, for the lovely overlay, Nelly.
Oh yes, thank you, Jeff.
Yeah.
thank you, Jeff. It
Making
looks
this look good.
great. Jeff says stinky.
Mhm.
Sherry.
Sherry.
Says Neil. Yeah, I'm gonna
Okay.
go with Grogu.
So,
if I have to choose,
Oh, there you go.
I'm
We have a little
choosing
bit of
Grogu.
everyone then.
Yeah.
Sherry also hosted our watch along last week with the crew.
Oh, there you
Thank
go.
you, Sherry, for hopping in.
Oh,
Yeah,
fun.
Sherry.
So
Okay,
like, listen, I love Neil and I love Grogu, but like,
Mhm.
yeah, it's Nubs.
Yeah.
It's
You
Nubs.
have a
guys.
3-year-old. That it has to be Nubs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I have a 3-year-old whose name before she was born was Yodito. So I mean, like,
I think it's so cute.
yeah.
Oh,
she's-
John says Neil too.
oh man, I feel so alone.
It's all right. I don't have a one. I would probably go Grogu, but I think all of them are good choices. That's why this game is hard, because I think
Yeah.
that there's
Whew,
no right
okay.
answer, right? The next one I think is also an
But if
interesting
you had
one.
to reward points, who would it
Oh
go
boy.
to? Oh my
I
goodness.
think in this one, like the cheese stands alone, it's got to go to Nubs. Like you're the most
Thank you.
dedicated, I think, of the, whereas I'm kind of like I could waffle on this. I have other
Yeah.
very strong opinions on Star Wars, as
They
you guys
just
do
need
as
to
well. But
Stop
like,
giving us cute things because the
Yeah.
decision is
No, that's how they make
hard.
merchandise.
Yeah.
It's all their merch bait characters.
I know. As a
100%.
Exactly.
my
Yeah.
giant loath cats over
Merch
there.
bait characters.
Yeah,
Yep.
they're merch bait characters. I know exactly what I'm getting into, and I fall for it every time.
Yep, absolutely. Oh, Jeff says Nubs and Neil are similar colors.
Mhm.
Listen, Neil gets the points for having the cute overall ensemble. So I mean, listen, I'm gonna give credit where credit's due. He's an angel, and I love him. But
He just
like,
wants
I
to
don't.
take a bath, man.
He just wants to take it back. But also,
Wake
wait,
up, man,
fast
take a
forward. Have you
bath.
seen like they just released like preview clips of the new Young Jedi Adventures episodes, and we're gonna see an adult Puba, which is what what Nubs is. So like,
Oh.
he gets a little bit scarier as they get older. But for right now, he's a little teddy bear. and
Okay.
I love
Is
that.
it kind of like the saber-tooth moose tiger in Avatar, which is like really cute?
No, it's a little
And then they-
scarier than that, but it's
Oh,
I'll let
no.
you experience that on your own.
Okay.
Some people want the spoiler and
Oh,
some
no.
don't.
I'm excited to see Nubs as a giant killer eventually.
Well,
when we
yeah,
get there.
absolutely. It's very that. Yeah, it's very
Mhm.
that.
Darth
Wow.
Nubs in the Lego Adventures was a moment.
That's so
Yep.
good.
Davey's
All right,
fully embracing that.
I have one that I cooked up on the spot right as this episode was starting because you mentioned
Okay.
Gary. You mentioned Gary Fisher. So
Gary Fisher.
I've got to have you choose between the dogs now. Is it Gary Fisher or is it Batcher?
Oh, it's Gary.
Oh,
Yeah, no brainer.
Sorry. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love Batcher. I really think that, he helped keep Omega sane. However, like, Gary did so much for Carrie's mental health.
Mhm.
I feel like he's the obvious winner.
Yep, loving Gary. I did
Jumping
want to get
Gary.
in there though because I know that Ashley loves her Bad Batch. Okay,
You. I love my Batcher.
the real start now. Again, it's time periods, locations, people, and factions and stuff. So, would you want to be alive during the Rebel Alliance time period, so the start of the Empire, or during the fall of the Republic, so sort of the prequel time periods? It's really a time period question. Is it Empire time period or
Mhm.
Republic time period, like prequels or OT?
Where am I living?
Yeah. What
Where am I
planet are we
living?
on? I know there's a lot of follow-ups to this. Yeah.
Yeah,
What
so-
side are we on?
Right, because like my knee-jerk reaction is where
Let's
am I
say
living?
Coruscant. Let's say Coruscant as like the 0 point for both of those locations.
Neutral zone.
Oh,
Yeah.
then prequel for sure.
Mhm.
Because I mean, there's still like some like you still have like the grandeur before it turns into like a complete fascist state. The Jedi Temple totally gets like taken over and stuff. So like,
Mhm.
I'm gonna say prequel. I
Prequel
might
time
regret
period.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the same because oppression is just not the way.
Yeah.
And even though you're rebelling
Nervous
against
laugh.
it, oppression is a no-no.
We're 365 party girls over here. We're definitely doing the prequels. Yeah. Pumping that.
365 party girl. Yeah, just set me down to like those really low levels on Coruscant, and at that point the time zones are all the same anyway.
Yeah,
so
that's what
Exactly.
fun
you
is.
know,
Yeah,
it's fine.
absolutely.
Going to some locations then, would you rather live on Lothal or Jakku?
Lothal.
Oh my god, Lothal.
Mhm.
So a fun fact about me is I'm actually low-key, not even low-key. I actually am really afraid of deserts.
Mm.
I'm like really afraid of the desert, which as somebody who used to have to drive from like Vegas to LA all the time was
Ah.
scarring as a child. So yeah, Jakku has absolutely no appeal to me whatsoever. Ray
Everyone
really hit
wants
the
to go
nail on
back
the
there.
head. Yeah,
So-
Ray,
Why does everyone
yeah.
want to go back?
Yeah.
Same.
Finn knew exactly what he was saying. Yeah, Lothal for sure. That's
Excellent.
a cool
I agree.
fashion going on too.
Because oh my god, they
Lothal's
had
what's up.
sloth cats, sloth wolves, cool Jedi
Well-
temples hidden in the spires.
But like you also get that nice blend of like they have a city, right? The capital is beautiful, but then they also have like nature. So if you're like a nature girly, go for a
Go
little
on a
hike.
Yeah.
I'm not, so I'll stay in the city, but y'all
Yeah.
do you.
Yeah, agreed. It's funny. I actually put as a follow-up, would you? And I knew this would be like with Tatooine. Would you want to live on Tatooine or literally anywhere else? Because we're always just on Tatooine all the time. And now that I know you hate deserts, which I did not know before, I feel like that question's even better.
Tatooine has the added bonus though of like getting to listen to the Max Rebo band on the regular.
Mm.
So I mean that would be
Only if you go to Mos Espa or Mos Eisley.
I would take that chance.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to go back and look for the body. He's not dead.
Mhm.
So I mean, I volunteer. Let's go. Let's go
Check
find him.
out where Garza is too, please, because
I mean, yes, okay, fine, but like, I need to remind you all that Max Rebo only has 2 limbs, so like he needs all the help he can get.
The piano becomes like a shell, like Grogu, like a flame-proof shell, and he's just rolling
vibing
away,
the
playing that
soft notes of jizz music in the background. He's not
Right.
dead, y'all. I'm sorry, we're calling it Jats music now. Jats music.
Yeah, did they change the pronunciation? I feel like they're gonna have to at some
In
point.
the books, they totally renamed it, so it's not jizz music anymore. It's Jats, Jatz music. Apparently, somebody at
Oh,
Disney didn't like that.
it took them a while.
Took them
yeah,
a minute.
like 40 years. It's fine,
Yeah,
totally
No
fine.
more jizz music.
No jazz music.
I'm gonna circle back to that. All right. On an adventure, who would you rather have with you, C-3PO or R2-D2?
R2D2
Yeah,
all
R2.
day.
Well, yeah,
3PO
I
is
know
R2.
always
my knee jerk was
savage.
R2, but C-3PO, as much as I can't stand C-3PO, is so useful.
That's the thing is like 3PO in a pinch, like he can get you out of so many like potentially awful situations with those translator skills. I
Yeah,
mean,
but R2
but
can like
like
actually open and hack things.
and and much like R2, I too believe in screaming at things to get them, in tough situations. So that's tough. That's tough. I mean, I don't know who's more useful in those situations. It's like, do you want like the pragmatic, like the we're gonna do this the right way, or do you want it done right, or do you want it done fast? Like, what do
Yeah.
you want?
Exactly. John says R2.
Yeah.
Sure.
I almost put Chopper in the mix, but I feel like that's just everyone's just gonna root for Chopper if we're gonna start
I
picking
mean,
droids.
again, yes, but it's like,
Yeah.
what kind of situation are we in?
Yeah.
Is the ship
How many
on fire?
people do I need to kill?
How
Yeah.
many do I need to kill?
Yeah.
Are we just like vibing, or are we like in the middle of a battle?
Yeah.
Right.
These are the questions.
I know that all of these require some form of follow-up because Star Wars is very complicated. We are in the war, and you can't even go just like pure time period. To your point, it's like what
No.
planet are we on? Like what faction are we a part of? In fact, I had a faction one that I think is an interesting one. Would you rather be a bounty hunter in the guild with Mando, or would you
Mm,
rather be a bounty hunter back with young Boba Fett? So think the Clone Wars, like Aura
mm,
Singh and that crew. Like,
So
what's your crew? If you're gonna, so bounty hunter was your decision in life. What's the
okay.
crew in which you want to be a part of? Like the guild with Mando, or like the Clone Wars, Boba Fett, etc., which is like Aura Singh
Ooh.
and that crew.
Ooh.
Cad Bane, everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cad Bane's part of that crew too.
Yeah.
I I feel like from a preservation standpoint, my niche, as much as I hate him, I hate Boba Fett, y'all, but I feel like that time period is like things aren't quite as desperate as they are from Mando, because like those bounty hunters are kind of just trying to keep it together at like,
Hmm.
yeah. Yeah, I feel like it would be the Clone Wars era for me, and not Mando.
I feel like during the Clone Wars, they were a little more like, they were the scrappy, like, do anything bunch where it's like there was no rules. It was just like, okay, what do I have to do to get this bounty? Whereas the guild has a set of rules and you have to follow them accordingly or you're either kicked out of the guild or killed.
Hmm.
So I feel like if you want total lawlessness, absolutely go with Boba and the crew. If you want regulated bounties and you know
The hockey pucks
the
and
hockey pucks, yeah,
mhm.
that's the name I was forgetting. Go for the Mando Guild. So I'm gonna go
Yeah,
with the Mando Guild.
They seem to have better labor laws. Like
Yeah,
there's like a right, like they have like a
they do.
wage and all that, right?
unionize. They unionize.
Yeah.
They
I'll
did.
have health
Great
insurance.
Karga made them
Mhm.
unionize. That's why he gets the big ass statue in Navarro
Yep.
Hmm.
because he deserves it.
Every bounty hunter has health insurance. They're
Yep.
really getting the best of the best.
Yep. 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 So that's where I stand.
Okay, I like that. I like those. All right, I have one that'll be especially relevant for Ashley, and I'm going to make you pick. Who is your favorite member of the Bad Batch? Now, there's a lot of orders in
Oh,
this. I have Wrecker, Hunter, Omega, Crosshair,
Omega.
Tech, Echo, or Batcher. The dog returns.
the dog comes back. Oh
There's a
God.
lot of them in the Bad Batch. Wrecker, Hunter, Omega, Crosshair, Tech, Echo.
I feel like they all came a long way. Like they all had such amazing character arcs. But the one I feel like the most was taken out of the group when Tech was killed. So I'm gonna go with Tech. Like
Tech.
as much as he was isolated and he had like probably on the spectrum, he had difficulty expressing his feelings and stuff, but he spoke up when it mattered. He was there when they needed him. He got things done for them, and it was a tragic loss when he was gone. And I don't think they ever quite recovered. Like they just seemed to mellow out after that. Like they were a lot less reckless when it came to that. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm gonna definitely say Tech.
Okay. Jamie, you have
My
a strong
favorite
preference?
episode, my favorite Bad Batch character was that time that Hera was in an episode of the Bad Batch, so she's my favorite Batcher.
It totally counts. It totally counts.
We have
Oh,
plenty of honorary members. So yes.
that's my
Asajj Ventress. We'll just throw
Yep.
her in there too.
yeah.
Well,
somehow.
I have an Asajj question coming up. I was
Wow,
going to ask
it's
you to choose
like we
between
knew.
Asajj Ventress and Barriss Offee, two of our baddest bitches. So,
Yeah.
Oh, this is hard.
mhm.
Oh
Dark
man.
side starts out kind of evil. Turns out they're not so evil. We keep wanting more content from them.
Yeah, this is hard because I feel like both of them have had
The beard badge.
like moments after their initial introduction that I really, really liked. So it's like if we're talking about oh man, this is really hard. If we're talking about like the character in their initial sort of setting, I would say Barriss because I actually really, even though they did her dirty with making her the whole bomber thing, I would say Barriss. But I did not like what they did with her in Tales of the Empire. But if we look
Fair.
at Asajj, it's the opposite, right? Like I didn't care for Asajj so much in the Clone Wars, but I loved her in Dark Disciple.
Yeah.
So
That's
it's
where
like it's the opposite for me.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go with
Ooh.
Asajj.
I'm gonna go with Asajj because of Dark Disciple.
Yes,
Mhm.
and that is also exactly why. Plus, like I kind of liked her just coming back and trying to train Omega a little bit. And just how
Mhm.
she treated Omega was just very dry and snarky. So it works for me. I want to see
Yeah,
what else.
Good answers, and I like
yeah.
that.
I think I'm sticking with Asajj. I'm like still like
Oh yeah, that. Oh, that. I totally forgot
Oh,
about
micro
that.
series. I
so
never
I
thought
can't
of
forget.
them.
I always forget about the micro series. Like
I
She
know,
was
same.
we should do something
so
about
badass.
that.
Well, here's
Micro
my
series watch.
yeah. I look. I think certain characters are so different. Do you prefer? All
Mhm.
right, I'm going to add this as a new this or that right now.
Okay.
Micro
Okay.
series General Grievous or General Grievous from the Clone Wars proper.
Micro series.
Micro
He's
series, right?
so totally unhinged. Like he's
Yeah.
unhinged in
Unreal.
the Clone Wars, but like it's like a whole different level of like unhinged. The micro series is oh like it feels like such an acid trip sometimes watching it, and
Yes,
it's
Mhm.
it
been a
does. Oh
long
my
time
god.
since I've watched it. But like the one of the things that always lives rent free in my damn brain is like the animation is so crazy, the characters are so unhinged, but it's somehow it's the art
Yeah,
the
it's very
C3PO like
vanilla.
unveiling with the cloak thing that I just always think about. Like I don't know why.
Yeah. Oh my
It's so
god.
stupid.
The
Yeah, it
epic
is really
poses
good.
in that, like Jenny
Yeah,
Tartakovsky, mwah, chef's
Mhm.
kiss.
it is really, really
And
good.
then he goes on
I
to
should revisit
direct
that.
Hotel Transylvania, and Drac has a fantastic cape too. So it's just continuing the cape. It's fine.
Yeah.
So, Ashley, I think based on the comments we're seeing in the chat, we are going to have to do a micro series watch probably after we finish season 1 of our Clone Wars stuff. So,
Yeah.
probably next month. We're already into episode 19 of Clone Wars
Yeah.
on Revisited. So, we're moving.
We're moving.
All right, let's stay in this space then. So, I was going to ask about some dark side stuff. What would be your preferred dark side power set? Like, do you want to be able to force choke?
Oh.
Or I know that's a good one, right? Or would you rather be able to do that like levitating thing where they spin their lightsabers like helicopters?
Wow. Okay. It's a
Which
rock and
means
a
you can
hard place kind
fly.
of
I mean,
question.
you can fly or choke people. Those are good
Choke
choices.
people.
Yeah.
Does it work through TVs? Just asking
Darth Vader did it. He did
for a
it.
friend. Okay. Then I'll do that.
I listen. Y'all know I love Rebels. Y'all know how I feel about Rebels. I cannot take the helicopter lightsabers seriously for a single GD minute. Every time I see it, no matter like, because it's like all such high stakes moments. Like there's so high stakes moments, but every time I see it, I can't not laugh.
I
It's
just
just
picture
so
someone just
ridiculous.
whipping a rock or a stick out
It's-
there, and you just go down so
Yeah.
hard.
It's so it takes out a bird, like a low flying bird. It just takes out. Like I just,
Well, of
it's
all
so
the
Alright,
dumb.
no!
Yeah, it's so
like they
dumb.
could have put it in any other episode, but it had to be in Twilight of the Apprentice, which is like the zenith of the series, and like that's a
Yeah,
part
it's
of it.
fine. Kanan is blind, and everything is terrible. But there they go.
Kanan's like, is it really that dumb looking? Tell me now. That's
He's like, thank God I'm blind. I can't
Yeah,
see
I
this.
can't see this.
Thank God I don't have to witness this with my own two eyes.
Oh my god.
chaos. Absolute
So
chaos.
bad.
I'm glad I got that reaction from the spinning lightsabers because
So
one of my
bad.
other this or that's was what kind of lightsaber would you like? And I wrote down standard, double blade, cross blade. I know there's
Oh
some
my
other
God.
variations, but like, do you have a preferred lightsaber that you would wield?
It's whatever extra ass thing they gave to Stellan Geos. Like the fact that not only does it look like a medieval sword, but it's got like the two little bits that go up and down. Like
Yes.
it's so beautiful, but also like so extra. Like it's
So you
you
want
can
like
tell a
a
lot.
cross guard saber, but with an actual not
But
like
like
Kylo Ren chaotic.
yeah, not little Ben Solo making it in his garage. Like I
Right.
want that like beautiful, elegant, like looks like an antique. Like
Yes.
yeah, I want whatever Stellan
Sword.
Geos had.
Um,
Avar Chris's lightsaber is a close second.
Avar
Yeah.
Chris. Yeah. I have
I'm
to look
gonna
that one up.
go with a saber staff, but you can break it apart and use
Ooh.
it.
Is that the one that Daisy Ridley had as Rey, and like, or it breaks in half during Rise of Skywalker? Like that
Hers
weird.
is like it's like two, and
Yeah.
then she just flips it out, and it's one, but it's never
Yeah.
like separated. It's just folded in half like this.
Gotcha.
It's
Didn't
really
somebody else have a saber like that? Who else had a saber like that? That was like that bent in two. Oh no, I know it. It's a High Republic saber. It's
Mhm.
Was it Orla Jareni's lightsaber that did that? I can't remember, but there's another High Republic saber that does
Yeah.
that.
But you don't want any whippy staffs? Whippy sabers?
No, I stand by my stupid extra Stellan Geos lightsaber. My favorite thing about that is that Stellan would have absolutely shit a brick over Vernestra's lightsaber, but
You're like, oh no.
literally, there's like a whole scene in the books where like she has to go like because Stellan was her master, and she had to go around like behind Stellan's back to talk to Avar to be like, "Hey, so I made this illegal modification to my lightsaber." And she's like, "Cool, don't tell your dad." Like, it's pretty much the whole conversation. Cool, don't tell him.
Wait, illegal modification?
Yeah, so the fact that her saber turns into a whip was against like the saber
Oh.
regulations, even during the High Republic era. And
Mm.
Stellan was like on the council, and like he was like this very like by the books like Jedi, and Vernestra knew that if she told Stellan about it, he'd be like, absolutely not, we're changing your lightsaber. So instead, she went to Avar Chris, the Marshal of Starlight Beacon, and was like, hey, so I did this thing with my lightsaber. She's like, that's super cool. Don't tell your dad.
I like that plan.
Yeah.
There's
Yep.
there's a lot of good philosophy around Star Wars about rule following versus like creating your own path. And I
Yeah.
think when Star Wars gets it right, that's exactly the type of thing. It's like we've set up the structure with like the Jedi Order that it must be this way. But then the people who succeed in those spaces usually break a lot of the rules. Hello, Anakin.
Mhm.
Hello, Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Hello, Obi-Wan. Like they're the worst
Hello,
of that.
Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Well, actually, coming back to the this or that, as always, would you rather train under Obi-Wan or Qui-Gon?
Oh my god,
I guess-
Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon.
My god. Absolutely. Fucking Qui-Gon Jinn. Absolutely. He's a disaster, and I love that.
I was gonna say I didn't think he was that great. What is
No,
your
he's a
rationale
mess.
for wanting to be under him?
Okay, so oh god, okay, there's a lot happening here. So Qui-Gon, I would probably feel like Obi-Wan in the moment where he was super frustrated by like not getting the guidance that he needed, but like then looking back on him being like, wow, this guy is basically just like a Jedi hippie who like once canonically had relations with somebody on Felucia. Listen, I just love the fact that Qui-Gon pretty much just does what he wants. He's like, oh, I had a Force vision, I'm gonna go do this thing now.
Yeah.
Like he's just totally unhinged. And listen, I love
Not a
Obi-Wan.
great
I do. I love Obi-Wan. But like I feel like Obi-Wan is so aggressively by the books that I think that would irritate me more than Qui-Gon just sort of doing Qui-Gon things.
Mhm.
I don't know.
That's where I'm gonna go with Obi-Wan because, and not just because I'm an Obi-Wan fangirl, but yeah, I just feel like no matter what was put in front of him, the love of his life, his apprentice becoming like the baddest bad guy in the Sith Lorddom, the Republic falling, the Jedi being assassinated en masse, all of that. Obi-Wan had a mission: protect the future of the Force, of the light side, and he did it. So I'm gonna want someone
Did
that's
he?
gonna. Luke, come on.
The
No,
same Luke who pointed a lightsaber at his face? Sorry, I don't know. I always think about that.
but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, no
I
matter
do.
what, he's stuck. And I'm not gonna say he's stuck to it, because obviously there were plenty of times where he was just like, whatever, I'm not doing this. But I admire his resolve, and I feel like he got the worst end of things by sticking to the book as long as he did. So yeah,
Qui-Gon, there's a cosplayer somewhere on Instagram whose handle I've now totally forgotten, but he's a Qui-Gon cosplayer, and he has like a whole series of photos of him just lounging in a pool wearing one of those umbrella hats, like sipping a drink while he's also dressed as Qui-Gon.
yes.
And I'm like, this man has completely nailed Qui-Gon Jinn as a
Mhm.
Force ghost. Like, that's exactly the kind of man he would be, and frankly, I think that's really cool.
Qui-Gon
No,
is a
no
set of
notes.
skills.
No notes. That's
Yeah,
me.
that's
Just
perfection.
vibing in a pool.
Obi-Wan is definitely a response to Qui-Gon, where he's like, my master was a big hippie. I'm going to follow all the rules. And then he gets saddled with Anakin and Ahsoka, thrown into the war. Like, nothing good
My
happens.
favorite
You know?
Obi-Wan line is like, how did we end up like this? We're smarter than this. Like, he's just like completely flabbergasted because it's gone so far off the rails. And it's
Mhm.
just like, when I was younger, I was a lot more by the book than I am now. And it's just sometimes you pay for that. So it's
Qui-Gon
Yeah,
Jinn's like, you can't go off the rails if there are no rails to begin with.
there you go. He's on a
That's
completely
exactly what I
different
love.
track.
me too.
Yeah, like, fine.
I'm going to tweak my question based on what we've been discussing here, because I think there's a good question as a follow-up to this Obi-Wan discussion. Would you uh, stay with the Jedi Order or marry Duchess Satine and become the
Satine.
king of Mandalore?
Teen. Happiness is short, man. Live your life.
What do you do?
Jamie in the sippy cup.
I'd
Also,
say
that's a lot of
Jedi.
responsibility. I don't know if I want to
Yeah.
go to like rule Mandalore, but
That's the thing is Mandalore that's
Yeah.
exactly my answer. Is that Mandalore is such a GD mess
Yeah.
that I'm like, I would rather deal with the mess of the Jedi Order than have to deal with the mess of
But she's a
Mandalore.
duchess, and
Mhm.
I think she would have left Mandalore, and they would have just
I don't know
gone
if they
around
would
the
have done.
galaxy.
As a secret third option, eloping and going somewhere together is the best answer, and go to the beach
I mean,
and hang out with Qui-Gon.
yeah,
But like,
with
I
his little
don't
hat.
with
the
the little
pool.
hat. But I don't think that that's a realistic option. I think you're stuck with a mess one way or another. It's the disaster of Mandalore, or the disaster of the Jedi Order.
Yeah.
So I just, as a people, I can't help but think of again, like everything. I spent a lot of time on Tumblr during the pandemic. There was a really, really great piece of art of like Bo-Katan just like leaning over. She's like, "The damn Mandalorians ruined Mandalore," and I'm like, "Yeah, they really did." And I just think to myself, like, Mandalorians are just such a ridiculously challenging group of people.
Hmm.
I would
For
not want to
real.
be responsible for that. Like, I would rather go deal with the chaos of Anakin and Ahsoka. So I'm gonna say stay with the Jedi Order,
Okay,
and then like have secret hookups.
I like that. I like that build to
See?
that. More importantly,
Work smarter, not harder.
I like it.
Working
The,
grease.
the answer is both things. So there you go. Yeah, we get to do it all. Let's see.
Good enough for Anakin. It's good enough for Obi-Wan.
Right? Jeez, man. Let the
So I
guy
did
live.
have a Bo-Katan related question, and it was: would you rather go on an adventure with Bo-Katan or with Mando? Like, who do you want as your wingman?
Do I get the green bean if I go with Mando?
Oh, I didn't think of that. Yes,
Th-
let's say
then I get
Grogu is
then it's
included.
Mando. Yeah, then
Yeah, that's
Mando.
a good choice.
Yeah,
Green bean.
just just for the sounds alone, like just to hear him like make his ridiculous
It just
little
messing with
Grogu sounds.
love
I
it.
mean, I have a 3-year-old, so I mean that's pretty much my day anyway. But yeah, I feel like it would take a really long time to warm up to somebody like Bo-Katan.
Hmm. Yeah, she doesn't seem fun.
Yeah.
No, she's like the drunk aunt fun, where it's like if you get her liquored up enough, maybe she'd be cool. But like,
That's why Ahsoka was like, "Hey, Jedi Order, can you help us? Because she's boring the crap out of me." Season 7 in Clone Wars. That actually happened. Yeah.
yeah. No, I'm gonna say Mando.
Yep.
Agreed.
I'm gonna say Mando. Maybe he'd let me wear the helmet once. I don't know.
Oh, that'd be
Maybe not
fun.
though, because
A lot more chaos, a lot
Creed.
more fun. Grogu getting into shiz.
Mhm.
My
know.
knees already hurt thinking about getting into that Naboosh like starfighter.
It's so tiny.
Like,
Maybe,
where do I sit?
maybe it's season 1 and he still has the Razor Crest. So there we
Listen,
go. We can choose our time periods and locations.
Yeah,
the
totally.
space Toyota Camry. Yeah.
There you go. All right, shifting back in time then a little bit to the original trilogy era. Can you choose between the Wookiees or the Ewoks?
Oh my god, Wookiees every time.
Yeah, we're gonna go with the Wookiees.
Okay,
I'm alone in this one.
listen, there's something to be said for the murder teddy bears. Like, I love them,
Mhm.
I do, but like as somebody who gets like hugs on the regular from Chewbacca, can I just tell you, like, there is something deeply comforting about getting a Wookiee hug. And like, yes, they're like definitely fighters, and yes, they're definitely warriors and stuff. But like,
John agrees.
I don't know, Kashyyyk just looks like a hell of a lot of fun to just hang out on. They all have like tree houses and stuff,
But not only that, they're technologically smart. Like
right?
I feel like the Wookiees, like they know how to do stuff, whereas the Murder Bears, they're a little more. I don't want to say rustic. I want to say like primitive.
Rustic.
Oh, they're rustic.
Rustic and primitive was the word I was looking for. But rustic almost just like bleh, out of my mouth. But
Do a rough chop.
yeah. So
Ew.
everything is just kind of like build your own tools, build your own huts, obviously. But I feel like the Wookiees have a better sense of technology and of war and of like, what
Yeah,
it
John gets it. I just
yeah.
want to take a nap on a Wookiee. And they make Wookiee cookies, and
Yeah.
they have the added benefit of going on terrifying, like, tree climbing adventures. Like, I don't remember what book it was in. I think they mentioned it a couple times in like the EU, where they talk about like how the Wookiees travel around Kashyyyk, like swinging on vines and climbing up those massive trees. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
I mean, we saw like,
basically
Kalnaka
ziplining.
doing that
What's that?
in the Acolyte. So sweet baby Kalnaka, we love you and your top knot.
And like, they could also be Jedi, so like, that's cool. I don't know. I can't really imagine an Ewok Jedi. I feel
Can you imagine
maybe yes, I
that?
can. Nubs. It's Nubs. Just
It's
kidding.
totally
The
Nubs.
words left my mouth, and I was like, Nubs.
Bleh.
But
No,
Yeah.
totally
Really
fair.
So
I'll just be alone on this one.
Okay, so
Fine.
why is it Ewoks?
Yeah, tell us
Give me your
Ewoks.
reasoning.
Well, for me, it's I grew up with them, so for me, it's fully a nostalgia play. So I guess it's an out of universe answer. Like, I watched Return of the Jedi as my first Star Wars movie. I love the Ewoks live
The
action
Ewok
movies.
Adventures.
Yeah, the Ewok Adventure,
I love
Battle
the
for
cartoons.
Endor.
Yeah.
Like, those movies are terrible now, but like as a child, I thought they were like Oscar-winning gold, right? And I
Yeah.
watched Ewok cartoons, so they're the things that got me into the franchise. So I always tell people
That's
I'm a child
fair.
of Endor. So for me, like, there's an emotional connection to
Yeah,
them.
there's
Yeah.
nostalgia.
I also think they're just really cute. Like, they're
They
just
are.
really fun, and I love that they like kill all the Empire soldiers and everything. I was like, this is
Oh,
awesome.
for sure.
So
And they have
Yeah.
that dress for Leia that just fits her perfectly.
yeah, because they ate another woman who's the same size.
Absolutely.
So,
Like, yeah, there's
yeah.
something to be said for them. Like, the bloodthirstiness is like, and they know how to braid. They know how to braid her hair. So like, it's
Yeah.
cool.
I know they did a good job. Okay. Yeah. Look, for everyone in the chat who disagrees with me, that's right. It's okay.
Yeah.
I was born in '83, so I was a child of the Wookiees as well.
Yep.
Yeah. So
It's okay. I don't need your pity.
Yeah.
All right. Location is the next one, and this
Okay.
one is a little bit silly. Are we going to Hoth or are we going to Mustafar?
Oh God.
Yeah, those are tough decisions. They're both terrible.
They're
oh my god.
terrible. Oh God.
As much as
I hate this question.
as much as I hate to say it because I hate being cold. I'm a New Englander, and I'm probably a smidge more used to Hoth than I am to Mustafar. However, I don't like freezing to death, and I don't like burninating alive. So I'm just kind of stuck.
Okay, so I've lived in both climates. I've also lived in New England and now live on the surface of the sun here in Florida.
Yeah.
And the rule of thumb is always you can add more clothes, but as soon as you start taking off too many clothes, the authorities get involved.
Yeah.
So, but I also I hate being cold. Like I become a totally different person when
Your
I'm too
hands are
cold.
dry.
Like I don't know. It just but I guess
Yeah, I
it's
know.
hard. But I also don't want to kill a tauntaun and sleep in a tauntaun. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's Hoth if I get one of those super cool Columbia parkas that
Yeah,
the rest
for
of the
real.
crew got. I hate that answer. I'm gonna say Hoth.
John agrees with us.
hmm
Yeah.
That
I
is
hate the
true.
cold too. I think at least with Hoth, there's no Castle Vader to deal with,
Yes.
right?
It's not
That's
like sudden explosions and creepy droids
yeah.
manufacturing
Darth Vader
weapons of
has
hate.
less of a chance of finding you.
But
Um,
you can go lava surfing. So I mean, there's that. I
True.
refuse to believe that's not what they're doing when they're hopping around during that big battle on Mustafar. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but I'm not
Exactly.
coordinated. I will go in that lava. So I'm
Well,
good.
but then you wouldn't have to worry about Hoth or Mustafar because it'd be all over.
Yeah, pretty much.
Always look on the bright side of
Side of
life.
life. To-do, 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 to-do.
Yeah, you would get a lava tan. I don't
Lava
know. I mean,
tan.
it would probably be like a second-degree burn, but you know,
Second. Oh, second is generous. Anakin level.
get crispy. Yeah. I'm gonna say Hoth, but I'm gonna hate it.
Yeah. Sadly,
I'm
yes.
with you on that. I, I I didn't realize we didn't do this one yet, but this one's really basic. Should have been one of the first ones we did. Dark side or light side,
Oh,
or
light
to
side.
that end, like Jedi or Sith.
Jedi, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Light
Jedi.
says,
I used to be really aggressively and this might be one of the questions that you have, Mark, because I know it was on my list when I was initially compiling it. I used to think to myself, would I rather be a Jedi or in the Rebellion? I'm like, well, there's something to be said for the Rebellion. And I used to be so anti Jedi because they were so strict and everything.
hmm
I don't know, man. The older I've gotten, the more of a Jedi apologist I've become. So I'm gonna say the Jedi every
Yeah.
time.
Yep. I'm with you.
I don't
Plus,
know.
it's a cheat code for everything. Yeah.
Sherry.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, more for everyone.
I know that Jamie's answer is going to be High Republic. If there's anything or related to it, but we'll go High Republic or Old
Oh,
Republic.
it's High Republic.
So
Ooh.
I don't know enough of the High Republic to say. I know that you love it tremendously, and I know the
do.
game Old Republic, but I'm not really in that space. It's not really like my zone.
So, knowing both, I mean, I feel like even if I didn't love the High Republic the way that I do, and obviously my answer is always going to be the High Republic because it's pretty much, I mean, no, not pretty much, it is my favorite part of Star Wars. There's something so optimistic about the High Republic, and the Old Republic just seems so dark.
Hmm.
Even just aesthetically speaking, looking at all of the concept art around the High Republic, it's all these beautiful whites and golds, and everything just feels so opulent and optimistic, and it's just such a
It was a
you know
grand time for.
it's a renaissance of a time in the galaxy until
Yeah.
the Nile take over. So I just there's just something so optimistic about it, and I think that's what makes the Nile attacks feel so devastating is because like you're watching beautiful things and people and places just be annihilated by you know these
Darkness.
pirates, these evil people. So
Yeah.
yeah, and the Old Republic always just feels so old, but dark and heavy. It just doesn't have the same opulence as the High Republic does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you there. It's very crumbling and sad. So yeah, I'm gonna go with High Republic on this one, based on what I know.
Alrighty. Let's see. Which one should we do next? Okay. Cal Kestis with a poncho or Cal Kestis without a poncho?
Okay, hang on.
Oh, did I
I think
freeze?
I think I may have frozen because all I heard was Cal Kestis.
Oh, all right. It is Cal Kestis. Cal Kestis with a poncho or Cal Kestis without a poncho?
Oh God, a poncho every time.
And why is that?
Aesthetics.
He
She's
seems
like-
to really love that poncho. It's always up in his interviews.
I don't know. Like, wouldn't you want a poncho? I feel like I would want a poncho.
I feel like
Anakin had a poncho. Just saying.
There's been a few really good pieces of costuming. In fact, I had a Padme costume question in here. What did I say? For Padme, would you rather be in the really grandiose robes from episode 1 or her action gear from episode 2?
Action gear. For sure.
Which robes?
Like the
Sorry.
red. I know she's got choices. Well, I guess at that point it's like if you have a favorite, you could swap that in. But I was thinking the red look with the white face.
So oh god, I have so many favorite Padme looks, but in my top 3 favorite Padme looks is the end of the Phantom Menace, the celebration gown.
Oh,
beautiful. With all of the white and pink.
Oh yeah, that one's good.
That's like in my top 3. So when you said episode 1, I'm gonna stick with even the red and gold. I would take the red and gold, but the pink and white from the end of the Phantom Menace is like
I drew
in
that
my
on
top
a
3.
card once, and it accidentally came out like one of the best cards I've ever done. So I can't not include that one.
Can't tell if I'm freezing. Can you guys still see and hear me?
Oh yeah, you're good.
Okay, cool. Because it keeps like blipping out on my end, and I can't tell if it's me or you. But anyway, we'll carry on until
you're actually coming through just fine. Just that one little blip that you had before where we lost you.
Cool.
Yeah, but otherwise, I've had good connection on this side.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Dave's going with George Lucas.
Yeah, I do like that black dress too. I think everything Padme wears in episode 1 is just so gorgeous. And then we were talking about this on Monday. The Clone Wars fashion for Padme is equally interesting. She's got that yellow space suit that we just saw her wear. That's like weirdly fitted.
Yeah, I was so pissed off about that spacesuit. I was like, Jar Jar gets to wear a tube, okay? Like an unanatomically correct tube, and she's like form fitted to every curve of her body. Like, come on.
Yeah. I have a Jar Jar one since you said his name. Would you rather spend the day with Jar Jar or spend the day with Stinky?
Oh, Jar Jar, absolutely.
Jar Jar
the antics.
Sure. As adorable as Stinky is and how he's rainbow-tastic, Jar Jar would be fun. Just don't put him in near anything breakable. That's all.
Yeah, I would take Jar Jar every time.
We made Dave happy.
Yep.
I do everything I can to avoid the Hutts in any and all capacity. It's Jar Jar.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm not a big fan of Jar Jar, but definitely better than Stinky. We had to give him a win. Yes, that's right. That's right, Dave.
Give him a win.
Yep. I have a harder one now. This is a Rebels one, and I feel like people are going to have strong opinions.
Oh, no.
Do you prefer the Loth cats or the Loth wolves?
Oh, cats.
As a cat mom, yeah, I'm going to go with the Loth cats.
So my initial reaction was the same way, to go with the cats, but the more I thought about it, I was like, those wolves, like they can walk you through hyperspace, like they're really big and powerful, like they're super helpful, and they're friends with the cats, so I feel like I'll bring them around.
But they're unpredictable, and they don't
bring them around.
They may eat me. They may sense the darkness in me and be like, "Oh, girl, he's a Darth. Like he's gonna get me."
Get him out.
But I feel like the wolves are not at anybody's beck and call. Like they come and go when they're supposed to, and they listen to the Force. So it's not something you can control. Whereas Loth cats, it's just like, hey, you train one up nice, and you got a pet for life.
True.
I love that y'all have such deep thoughts about this, and honestly, like my deep thought just goes down to the one, like I'm literally looking at it now, which is why I looked up, but like that last mural from like the very end, the family mural and everything, there's one Loth cat whose eyes appear to be almost going in 2 different directions, and I just love him so much. They're so stupid. Like I just listen. Your very deep answers are so valid. Like they're so real. But like
you just love the stupid look. It's fine.
They just have the dumbest faces, and I just really love them. And like this one looks like his eyes are just going in 2 different directions. And I think about
I like the one that just randomly pops up in the grass that one time where you really get to see Loth cats in an episode, and it's just like it's just
and like the fact that like their mouths are like the lengths of their face, like they're so dumb.
It's very Pac-Man.
Yeah, yes, like they open up their mouths and it's like this, like it's like a V shape.
Lost
I
Gerbils?
love them. Also, they have the same kind of anger and hostility that I also have. So,
Yeah.
like,
We're
you
cat
know,
moms. It's what we do.
I get it.
Yeah.
We
There's
we
some
just
really.
do
I was gonna do a whole thing about various creatures, and I was like, we could be here all night
We
because it
would be
was
here all
like,
night.
yeah,
Yeah.
spiders and this and like
Oh
you
no.
name it. Yeah, I mean those are scary, but I
Those
wouldn't
are
want to run across
no.
them.
Full of no.
I forgot when we were doing our lightsaber section. I didn't ask about your preferred color of
Mm.
lightsaber. So the crystal and then whatever the blade color is. So I wrote down blue, green, red, yellow, orange, and white. There are probably some others, but if you have a preference of those colors, and then
Nobody
remind
can have
everyone in the
purple
chat.
except for Mace Windu.
What's that?
Nobody
Oh,
can
and
have
purple.
purple
You
except
don't
for
get a
Mace
purple.
Windu.
It's just him. Yeah,
Oh,
he's the
and
only one.
Vernestra.
Oh yeah, Vanessa
She had to
is
get
purple.
she had to get special permission from
Yep.
Samuel L. Jackson for
Purple.
that.
Everyone's jumping in with purple now. Son of a bitch. There's gonna be all these purple lightsabers.
Uh,
Uh,
so the answer's actually gold. Or yellow, I guess. But yeah, I would say yellow.
and you wanted the Avar Chris lightsaber design. That was your.
Yeah, so that was the design that that or Stellan's, but Stellan is blue and Avar
Mhm.
is green.
Yep. But you can change the color of your
Yeah,
blade.
but,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I also just
You like
really
yellow?
like yeah, but I also it's mostly because I'm like deeply into the whole Temple Guard lore,
Yes.
and yeah, so big fan of like the yellow gold
Yeah.
I like
saber.
it. What about you,
Yeah.
Ash?
I love Rey. It's like she's one of my absolute favorite characters in Star Wars, but I also love Obi-Wan, so I'm gonna have to go with either blue or yellow.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was your preferred design? I don't remember your
Oh,
handle
mine
or
was
your
like the saber staff.
the staff. Okay,
Yeah.
so if you do that in blue or yellow, it'll be pretty differentiated. John wants teal now. Girl, we'll be
Teal.
doing. Should I break out the Pantone book? We're gonna start cooking up like you know how on the computer
I
you
need
can measure the
codes.
RGB like
Yeah.
numbers. Yeah, we're gonna start
We're
creating
gonna
those.
MySpace this shit, okay?
Tier
This is
codes.
crazy.
We're gonna MySpace
Uh-uh.
this shit.
Remember when it was blue and red?
Yeah.
There's
Or
there's
green.
one type of lightsaber. I'm gonna be that old man screaming at cloud. Back in my day, there were two lightsabers. It's a binary.
3.
Time to get you to bed, Grandpa.
Exactly.
Go to bed.
Time to get you to bed.
I was excited to see that there was an orange color for the lightsaber, but it just looked
Yeah.
like yellow. So I'm like, that can't really do much with
Well, if
this.
you look at like Balin skulls and Shinhati's, there's like really orange, like to the point where they looked red initially, but they were kind of off. So we were like, are those orange? And we had to get confirmation that they were orange. So we still don't know the meaning behind it. I mean, we may never know, but
Yeah,
it's
there's
pretty
more
good.
lore to be added, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right, well, I have a silly one for you guys, especially with Andor season
Ooh,
2
Jess is
coming
Black
back.
Saber.
Oh yeah, I guess we could also do a dark saber.
Yeah.
Silly one for you. Would you from Andor related? Would you rather literally fight in the Battle of Endor or go on a date with Cyril Karn?
Well, we know your answer, Mark.
The character, not the actor.
Question.
Yeah.
Follow-up question. Yes.
Follow-up question. Is Space Gabe taking you out to eat, or are we eating cereal at his mom's place?
I think you get to set all of the terms of the date. So coming back to our topic of consent, you're allowed to choose your food, your location, the quantity of time, but you have to spend time with this man.
I'll take Space Gabe. Yeah, I'll take Space Gabe.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry. I can't get down with that. I'm just gonna go Battle of Endor because I'd rather.
I'm too weak for battle. Too weak. Too weak. And yet I dealt with an overbearing Jewish mother, so like it's fine.
As someone,
I love you, Mom. You're doing great, Mom. You're here. She's upstairs. I love my mom.
Someone, it's just like I wear t-shirts and jeans most days, like of my life. As someone who's more tailored than me and more like probably takes more time getting ready and puts more thought into their wardrobe than me. Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm super into the actor, but that character can.
Oh, he's a
needs
dick.
to stay far, far away from me. Yeah.
Alan's never seen Andor before, so we started rewatching that, and just Cyril and his meh. And
Yeah.
He's terrible. He's terrible.
He's just.
But here's the thing: you never pass up a free meal. So I mean.
Yeah. And then he'd probably make you pay. Be like, I don't have enough credits. Be like, too bad.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's the question that it was posed sort of toward the end of season 1 of Andor, and it was for Deirdre. Does she go with Cyril to help get rescued, or do you face your fate, knowing what you know? Because at that point, I feel like she understood like what the Empire was really doing. Because there's survival, and then there's like morally correct thing to do for everyone else.
Yeah, but at what point are her morals so far gone that that doesn't
Yeah,
it doesn't
Yeah.
even apply to that character?
she's literally
So
an ISB agent, which means she probably is made to kill people, like make decisions to kill people. So her
Mhm.
morals are kind of off the tracks.
Oh, for sure.
yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think the answer for her is that she just carries on carrying on.
Yeah.
Right.
And that
I
makes
mean, I
sense.
don't love it, but I feel like that's the answer.
Yeah.
And as
Agreed.
Jeff is reminding everyone, they are doing
Episode 3.
Andor tomorrow, episode 3. We're making our way. Okay, something a little bit lighter. Would you rather train as a Jedi or learn how to become an amazing fighter pilot?
Fighter pilot. I love it.
Mm,
I love
I
cool
love a
helmets.
pilot.
I love
I
pushing
know
buttons.
pilots are
I
freaking
I I
cool.
love I love a pilot. But I also like. Oh, it's not gonna fit over my headset. But like, also, it's not gonna fit over my headset. I I love a Jedi. What era are we in? Hang on. I feel like this is an important catch.
A days before Order 66. No.
Well then, sign me up, Hera. Let's party.
Yeah.
Uh,
Duh. Yeah. No.
I was trying to like because pilots are, I think so people really fall into pilot or Jedi. That seems to be like a trope in Star Wars. People sort of like one that, or they go Imperial officer. That seems to be another big one. But yeah, I feel like the Jedi also know how to fly, but people like
right.
Han Solo and Hera like really embody the skill of being a pilot, and it just
Right.
make it look so fucking cool.
I know. Damn. And Carson Teva, Trapper Wolf, all those X-Wing pilots.
Yeah, we love
Um,
them.
we love them.
Oh,
So
I don't like. Yeah, I mean, if we're talking Days Before Order 66, it's
Well,
pilot. If we're talking
yeah.
like Golden Age of the Jedi,
But
fucking, I want to be a
Anakin
Jedi.
wanted to be a pilot, and he was like 8 years old.
And
And
look where it got him.
yeah, but he was so confident that he was the greatest pilot.
He never has to be a Jedi. He's like, I'd prefer to not be a slave, please.
What's gonna get me off this rock?
Even the
Sign me up
field.
for that.
Oh man! All right, I have a silly one since we're nearing the end. Would you rather try food-wise an actual Mela run fruit, or
Okay.
try blue milk? And I guess we could throw the cereal in there from Cyril Karn's apartment that you mentioned. But those were the two food items that really stuck with me: was the fruit or the blue milk. Blue milk is so iconic. Like,
Melee
you know,
run, I have to say.
It's Melee Run. Yeah. The blue milk, I mean, again, assuming that whatever they're serving on Galaxy's Edge is whatever George Lucas had in mind when
Yeah.
he wasn't thinking about it, it's okay. I'm not a milk person. I don't like milk was a bad choice. So
Yeah, and it's just
That's
weird
fair.
that they would drink milk in a desert. Like it just how does that
Yeah, where'd it come from?
it's
What are we
so
milking?
hot. Not drinking milk.
And we're not even
Yeah.
gonna talk about the thalassiren, okay? We're not
Milk
gonna
was a bad choice.
we're not gonna
Yeah.
talk about that. But
Blech. Blech. Yeah, it's a Melee Run.
but I love Maileron juice and Batu West, and I wish it was at East.
Yeah, we get nothing.
Ugh, sad.
Ever.
You get
Nothing.
Tatooine Sunset iced tea.
That's
Yep.
pretty good.
It is good, but it's no Maileron juice, and it warms my soul to drink the Maileron juice. So
Yep.
I
think
don't
I
think
would
they
try
have
the fruit
non-dairy
also.
option. I don't think they have a non-dairy option on Tatooine.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what they're milking. They might just use the word milk, but it could. I mean, they have to
They're
harvest
milking
water.
moofs. I'm telling you, it's
Yeah.
from the moofs.
Some things are better left unknown. I don't want to know what they're milking.
Yeah. Probably true.
Thalassiren. End of story.
Good.
Thanks, Luke. Thank you so much.
All right, I have one that's topical based on the news.
Oh, Bantha Milk. John got us there. Okay.
Oh yeah. Who's your favorite, Oscar, Pedro, or Diego? And in theory, that could also be Poe, Mando, or Cassian. However you want to play that.
Man. Okay.
I know that's a tough one.
Why?
For me it's Diego. And it's I mean if we're talking like it's hard, right? Because like I I love them all.
Mhm.
I love them all. I can listen to Pedro Pascal read a phone book and be happy.
Yeah.
I love the man. I love them even interacting with each other because I think all three of them understand that they are like the trifecta Latino daddy trope in
Mhm.
Star Wars, and I think they've just sort of embraced that and love that.
Yep.
I think it's
But
hilarious that all three of them are in Star Wars, and it's just like,
yes,
And they
yeah,
all know each other.
yes,
Yeah.
like that was by design. Somebody knew what they were doing, exactly what they were doing.
right.
Mhm.
But for any of you who have experienced me on Star Tours, when Cassian comes on screen, my answer is Diego Luna and Cassian.
Yep.
It's
I remember
yeah.
how stressed you were that you hadn't gotten him on the updated version of Star Tours yet, and then when you got him, you lost your shit.
I went just a couple weeks ago with my partner and I punched him in the arm. Literally like
He's like,
That's
ah!
when you know something's
yeah,
good, when the
I'm
physical assault happens.
yeah, it was
not
physical
the
assault.
Rebels
Yeah, I could
fine.
have gone to jail. It's
God.
fine. I didn't go to jail. It's fine. Yeah, it's Diego.
Diego.
I
All right,
love
Ashley,
him.
who you got?
I love the comedy of Pedro off screen, but I feel like the swagger and the seriousness, but also like the hilarity is just awesome. So I'm gonna go with Oscar because I love
Oscar.
my Poe Dameron.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's funny because I picked Pedro, and I think people would think it would be Oscar for me, but it is Pedro just because of his real life persona. Like
He's
his
so fun.
Instagram is like healing. Like
Yeah.
when he and
It's true.
like trust me that I did not care to see Gladiator 2, but I was very excited about the press tour for Gladiator
Oh
2
God, they
because
were
Pedro
so
Pascal was
funny.
everywhere. That man's in the movie for 15 minutes. There's more
Is he
content of
really?
him.
I
Really?
haven't
Just
seen that
15
yet.
minutes?
He's barely in it. Because it's Paul Mescal's movie.
Oh,
And look, by the way,
oh,
I know,
yeah,
Dave, that
just
the
saying.
swagger of Mando isn't Pedro. The voice is, but like, and Brendan and Lateef bring the character to life and everything. But like,
Mhm.
Pedro's got, plenty of
I
charisma.
think what did me in with Pedro, and like I loved him before I knew this, and I just felt like I loved him even more, was like as somebody who was an anxiety sufferer, who has diagnosed anxiety issues and everything, when I found out about his physical gesture, about when he has anxiety on the red carpet, he puts his hand like on his stomach
Hmm.
and like he's like
Or he
calming
holds
himself.
a
I was
co-star's
like,
hand. Like that's really
I
cute too.
I love a king. Like
Hmm.
I love him. Yeah, I do. I love Pedro Pascal, but Diego Luna is
Yep. They're all three of them are
She
good answers.
she
That's why we're
punched
playing
in
this.
love for
We're
yeah,
forcing
yeah.
everyone's hand. You know.
yeah.
Um.
This
Oh my
episode is
God.
brought to you by consent.
How? Yeah, exactly. And how dare you bring up Wonder Woman 88?
84,
That,
84.
there, that's the right, exactly. 84. See, we can't even get the number right.
What year was
I
it?
Oh,
haven't seen it.
all
Mm.
right. I have one that I think would be nice to end on, and it's not a
Okay,
real, um, like, don't treat it as seriously as I'm saying it, but like, it all comes back to Carrie. So, Princess Leia or General Organa. What is your favorite iteration of
Princess Leia.
the OT Princess Leia?
Hmm. So for me, I was a little girl who straddled the Disney Princess franchise and Star Wars, and at the time, that was a pretty hard thing to do because Star Wars was for boys and princesses were for girls,
Hmm.
and Leia was always my answer to that. Well, why? How do we have a Princess Leia? And like, she's not like a helpless damsel. Like she's very like in control and very passionate and very confident and powerful and all these things. So having a character like that as a young girl when Star Wars was for boys
Hmm.
was life. I mean, it sounds silly, but like life changing for me. Like it really it brought me this passion for the rest of my life, and it told me that as a little girl it was okay to love princesses and Star Wars at the same time and to not be bound by a box. So yeah, Princess Leia for sure.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. Princess Leia, between her grabbing the blaster and shooting and actually doing things because the boys were standing around like, "What do we do?" Um, that was inspiring, but also like, how many times did she take charge and lead and prove that she could earn the title of general in the future? So I feel
Hmm.
like she was an inspiration to male or female, they, them, whatever. She don't sit around and wait for people to save you. Save yourself.
Hmm.
So that meant everything to me, and I got to tell Carrie. So that made my life. So I'm gonna go with Princess Leia for sure.
Yeah, excellent. Good choices. Also, Carrie would have really enjoyed this show.
Oh, she would have.
Like she would have enjoyed you guys tremendously.
Aw,
And
thanks.
I like the idea that we're able to carry her legacy, of bringing women into the fandom like this many years later, on
Yeah.
a semi-weekly basis. Like there's that much content to talk about now. Believe me, if this show was on 40 years ago, we would have had one episode.
Yeah,
And it would have been
seriously.
like she was
Yeah.
cool in that movie that one time.
Leia and Mon Mothma, that's all we get.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, Caroline, I love her too.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. That's our end. That's the end of our game of this and that for this
Yeah.
edition. I think this
I
should
feel
be a
like we have to do this again.
semi-annual thing. I feel like we should do it like 6 months from now, toward the end of the year.
Should make the
like a
boys do
family-
it on the Jedi. Should do it on the Jedi archives. Make them
Oh,
do
yeah, that'd be
it.
a great episode. Unifying Force will dissect it all and get into really. It'll be like 2 questions, really deep philosophical shit. So this would be a good one for Jedi archives.
Yeah.
Tell them they have to do it like knee jerk. Like they can't think about it. They just have
High
to give whatever.
Republic knee jerk.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Oh yeah.
Right.
There's
First
so
answer.
much
Go.
to mine there. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, there you go. Yeah. So this was fun. We should
It
do
was
this again.
fun. Yes.
Hang out
Well,
again and answer more questions.
That's how we made it so Galactic Game Night, and then we just title the game underneath it, so that way we can interchange them out, because we will do this again. So if you guys have any suggestions or things that you want us to try, please let us know. We'll try it out in the future.
Yeah. We should probably wrap up with what's going on for the rest of the week. So we talked about the squad watching. We're all winners. There were no losers here. Everybody wins.
Yeah.
Andor episode 3, season 1, episode 3. Those were all words that were really hard to say. Andor season 1, episode 3. Watch along tomorrow night, right? So that's Thursday. What's going on Friday?
Unifying Force, new
On
episode.
Sunday. Yep.
Okay. And then nothing Saturday, but then Sunday, right? Jedi Archives on Sunday?
Unifying Force.
Unifying Force on Sunday.
Yeah.
See? This is why we have Mark, because I can't
And then
keep track of this stuff.
We're back with Clone Wars on Monday.
Yeah.
Episode 19. We're going to Ryloth. It's Jamie, you got to tune
Yeah.
into that one. So storm over Ryloth.
I mean, honestly, probably my favorite part of the Clone Wars. So
Yeah.
yeah, I could get into that.
Some Syndulas.
Celebration is rapidly approaching, which means that our schedule will probably be a little bit in flux for the next couple of weeks, potentially. So,
We'll keep you
for
guys
all y'all,
updated.
yeah, just keep an eye on the schedule and see who's coming up and at what times, because things might be a little bit wonky because of Celebration coming up.
Oh, Friday might be the new speaker series episode, Jeff.
Yes, I heard that was a rumor. Simon Williamson, who plays Max Rebo, who was name dropped earlier in our
We gotta ask
episode.
him about the protective ball. We have to ask him.
Yeah. Is he the mastermind that killed Boba Fett, or not killed Boba Fett, but lots of other people on Tatooine, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so there, and on
Every fan theory about Max Rebo is a good one.
They're all amazing.
They're
So
all so
Simon
good.
may have nothing to say about any of those things, but I'm sure he's going to be thrilled
He'd be
to
like,
hear
"Nope,
the questions.
I can't answer these questions. I'm sorry, but these
Yeah.
are good.
And then speaking of Pedro Pascal, the Fantastic Four trailer dropped.
So freaking good. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
just going to jump into that real quick. It is exactly what you want from a Fantastic Four adaptation. You want those crazy Fantastic cars, like design.
The Fantastic car looks so stupid. I love it. I love
It's-
it so much.
My uncle would have loved that because he loved the Fantastic Four. So like having them in the costumes, and also like Ebon Backrack from Andor is Ben Grimm, the Thing in this, and he's saucing it up bear style. Cousins, stuff's happening. It's great.
Mhm.
So I'm so excited for this in July. Love it. And also, yeah, John Galactus. Hello, where
Mhm.
have you been? We want to see things. So
And he's
yeah,
got the
right-
hat.
Over my head.
Galactus with his very cool hat.
yeah.
Which also makes no sense. Why do you have horns, sir? Like you're big enough to eat a planet.
Yeah, I did
I'm
too,
excited
yeah.
for all of you guys. I am so
Yay.
excited for you guys. I
You don't
am
care,
so
do you?
excited.
Stretchy Pedro, Jamie. It's Stretchy Pedro, so it's fine.
They did not showcase his power set in the trailer,
Yeah.
which was perfectly reasonable.
They might
Also,
be
I
still
love his
working on it.
curved blackboard. You know, at one point he's going to be stretching across that blackboard to like reach to like do an equation. It's going to be a thing. Come on.
I'm
But I
so excited for you guys.
yeah.
I'm so excited.
But
I'm
and
so
he's
excited.
got gray in his temples, Jamie. Just saying. It's Pedro.
Uh,
I'm trying
but
so hard, you guys.
I'm
It's all
dating
right.
a man with gray in his temples. It's it's,
Jamie's just like, okay.
yeah. No, listen. Like honestly and truly, like I'm not in the Marvel scene. I'm so far behind on Marvel.
Totally
But like,
fine.
I love this for you guys, and I love that
Mhm.
everybody's excited about it. And I feel like the Fantastic Four has had one of these weird relationships with going live action. So maybe this will be the one that sticks.
I
Yeah.
hope so.
Well, it's
Is it
coming out in July along with Superman and Jurassic World. So there's no
Oh,
shortage of and the Jurassic World trailer just dropped. So we got to
Ooh,
see
I gotta watch that.
Mahershala Ali, who I fully forgot was in this movie, with Scarlett Johansson and Jonathan Bailey because he's been in none of the other materials before this. So I'm
Damn,
very excited
Bailey.
about that.
It's
Yeah.
the year of the Bailey. I'm just
Jonathan Bailey's everywhere, and he's
yeah.
very funny in the trailer because he looks very concerned. He's obviously a science nerd, and he has no adventuring capability. But Scarlett Johansson and Mahershala Ali are going to keep him safe as they go grab some DNA from dinosaurs. It's so dumb. I'm so in. Like I love everything about it. But he's got like those glasses that everyone's obsessed with, and yeah,
Oh,
it's gonna be a good time.
alrighty. I will have to check that out.
Yeah, there's so many dinosaurs in the trailer. I was shocked.
Dinosaurs.
okay, that's
Yeah,
actually pretty good. I feel like why bother having a Jurassic World trailer if you're not going to show some dinosaurs?
yeah.
Like we
Also,
know
they
they're
better.
there. It's not like it's a surprise.
Yeah, right, exactly. It's not like in the first one where it's like, "Oh shit, we see a dinosaur." This time around, they better be eating people. They better be stepping on people. Like it needs, we know they're here. They better be doing things.
Can you
Yeah,
imagine if it was like a 3-hour movie with like no dinosaurs, just implied dinosaurs?
Just them looking for the dinosaurs. It's like, "Oh, we
just
found one."
shadows of
Footprint.
dinosaurs walking along.
Listen, times are tough. Dinosaurs cost money. That's
Yeah,
times are tough.
CGI is expensive.
Yeah, but they got that Wicked money now. NBC Universal cleaned up in 2024.
I mean, they
So
might have that wicked money, but have you seen the price of eggs? They
true,
don't. They
especially
don't
and there's
have
oh my
dinosaur
god,
money.
there's a dinosaur egg in the trailer that's as big as this room. So there you go. The thing is a
We're,
bazillion dollars. Yeah.
we're eating like kings.
Yeah, there it is. Well, he has to extract DNA from the giant egg. You've got to see this trailer, Jamie. You got to watch this thing and report
Oh
I'll
back
my
watch
god.
it.
because
I
it's.
I'll
need
watch
I was
it.
like, because he's like, this is so dumb. Why am I taking the DNA out of an egg? And like, they're literally like, oh well, we can't get it out of the live dinosaur because it'll eat you. And he's like, that is a better plan. So everything
Shocker,
about
where's
it,
the
it's like
music?
it's so stupid, but also so brilliant and obvious. I love it.
Sure.
I'll squeeze the trailer in between my What We Do in the Shadows rewatch. I'll get it
There
in
we
there
go.
because
Yeah.
dinosaurs. All right, y'all. Clearly, we have devolved from a Star Wars conversation to whatever this is. Thank y'all for hanging out with us.
Yeah,
We
this was
hope
so
y'all
much
had
fun.
fun. This was definitely a good time. We will be back in 2 weeks, in theory, and if not in theory, we'll let you know. Yeah. So until then, make good choices. If you don't make good choices, make good stories. If you don't make good stories, don't bother me. I don't know what to tell you. Drink a lot of water, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
May the force be with you guys.
For
For
light
light
life,
and
y'all.
life.
I'm out of here.
Bye, everybody.